Hello, it's been a minute. I skipped March. In case we didn't notice, probably did not notice. I did not plan on skipping March. It was just March got busy, and to be honest, I didn't really have a lot going on for the month of March. So ultimately, as time just continued to go on, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to combine March and April. So here we are. An update for March and April. So you'll also have to forgive my appearance because I was out gardening all day today. Well, not all day, a portion of the day. And then the mood just struck me to film, and this is what I look like. And I was like, that's okay because this is life. This happens sometimes. Also, my mic is inside my shirt, so I hope that doesn't happen like a lot. So if it does, I'm really sorry. That's really embarrassing, but we'll see how it goes. It's gonna be a messy video. I've been kind of taking notes as March and April went along about things I wanted to talk about, but they are like rough draft notes, and there's arrows linking things together and whatever. I can't even remember what I talk about in these monthly videos, so we're just gonna wing it. It might be a little messy. Ooh, and there might be birds. But again, life. This is life. This is what happens. So one of the first things I wanted to talk about, this was for March, and I purchased this moon journal a really long time ago. Let's get in close. And I wanted to start it in March. I patiently waited to start it in March. Why? Because that's where the calendar starts. So it starts with Aries, which is March 21 to April 19. So this section of the book is all like information, and then this section is the monthly. So here, for example, is your monthly. So you put in your information, and then you have Aries is a fire sign, Aries is a personal sign. It gives you like a bunch of information, and then it talks about the new moon, the first quarter, the full moon, and the third quarter, specifically in the sign of Aries. And then there's a whole bunch of pages for notes, and then it goes on to the next sign. So I was really excited to use this. I like the beginning portion. There's lots of information in the beginning portion. Again, this is the information chunk. It talks about the full moons, so like a blue moon eclipses the moon in October, like all that kind of stuff. Routines and rituals. So, oh my gosh, there's so much. I really like that part of it, creating affirmations. But there's something really funny about the month. I went to write in the dates, and I was like, something is wrong. So I'll let you look at that for a second and see if you can figure out what I'm talking about, because I didn't even figure it out until I went to put the days in. Give up? Or maybe you figured it out. It's organized like this: Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, instead of across the top. So I was like, so do I go like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? I just didn't like it. I didn't like how it was arranged, and I was going to try it, and I was like, no, that's going to bother me. I can't do it. It's going to bother me. So I'm not sure. I think what I'll do is maybe like take whatever information I can get from the information in the front chunk, and then, I don't know, maybe sell this. I don't know, because what do I do with it if I'm not going to use it for the monthly? I don't know. I was really disappointed because I was really looking forward to it. I had had that for so long in my possession, specifically waiting for March, and March came here, and I was like, I can't even use it. I can't even use it. The other one I have, now I'm going to get it down and knock everything down. Hold the line. So the other one I have is the Mindful Witch. And I actually I tripped myself up a little bit because I thought this was the one that started in March. So I was super excited. But this one starts in January, so I missed it. I mean, really, you can start it anytime you want. Like, you can just flip to, where are we now? We're at the beginning of May. So you could flip to May and start that way and then just circle back. That would drive me insane. I would not be able to function knowing that I was not in order of the book. So yeah, I'm waiting until January 2023 for this one. So crappy, but super excited for this as well. So that was my first update that I wanted to let you guys in on. Reading. I'm still reading this. In fact, I'm only like this far into it. So The Light is the New Black. I do love it though. When I am reading it, I'm enjoying it. I do want to get back into reading it. It is the easiest read ever. I don't know what my problem is. Like, they're just little short story kind of things. Like, some pages are just like this. And it's still taking me this long to read this book. I tell ya. I don't know what's gotten into me. Although I did kind of sidetrack, and I'll get to that in a second. I'm getting to that right now, actually, if I look at my notes. So I did not buy a single deck in the month of March. However, I made up for it in April with 3. So the first deck I purchased, this was actually a pre-order. I can't remember when I bought it. I think I got it in February, and they were moving from Australia to LA. So they were moving their studios, and I wasn't able to get my hands on this until they fully moved their studios and they had their stock back in their possession. So I just got it in April. It is, oh my gosh, no, I can't remember what it's called. The Lucid Dreams Beginner's Tarot with Keywords. I did do an unboxing of this, so that is on my channel. If I remember to link the cards, I will do so, which I seem to never remember to do, so I'll apologize in advance for that. It's just the kind of person I am, friends. So I've really been enjoying that. Really been enjoying this deck. I'm keeping it in a Peggy bag. I'm not keeping it in its box. The box is actually back there. And to be honest, I haven't really referenced the book at all. Now, I'm not a beginner to tarot, so there's no need for me to really reference the book or the words on the cards. I think the deck itself is beautiful, and I like, especially because I'm new in my reversal journey, I do like having the option of having the words, more specifically for reversals. But this is a great little book, and I should be reading it more. The other decks, this is ambitious of me, that I got in April. There's the cute little Lenormand and the Celtic Lenormand. Folks, I don't know a single thing about Lenormand. Lenormand? I don't know what happened. I don't know what I was thinking. This is a huge undertaking. Learning a whole new system. Now, the cute little Lenormand, Lisa Pappas had talked about this and said that this was like one of 3 of the beginner ones that she would recommend. I think the Celtic Lenormand was the other one, and another one I can't remember. But yeah, I mean, the cards themselves aren't my style. The cards are in a little bag, but just to give you an idea, this is what they look like. So they're not like, they're not really my style, but I hear that cracking of that spine. That scares me when that happens. You precious thing. But I did want the book. So, and I thought it was a good learning book. So this is what I've kind of been reading. I'm only that far into this one. And I haven't picked this book up in a few weeks, if not more than that, if I'm being honest. So this is kind of taken a back burner. I should also mention I'm the maid of honor in a wedding that's June 4th. So a lot of my duties have been coming up, and things are kind of getting a little crazy with that. So that's where a lot of my time and focus and thought process has been dedicated to the last few weeks. So that's kind of sort of what's happening there. This one is also not my style. The cards are not my style at all. What I did really like about this one was the different options of cards they give you. It gives you several. How many? Oh, does it tell me? It's a 45 card deck, and oh no, now I can't get it to close. And how many cards are in the Lenormand system? I don't even know. 36. So this deck does give you a lot of different options to work with. Oh, that's why we can't close it. But Celtic, like I'm not particular to Celtic. It's not like I have a Celtic focus or Celtic artwork preference. I was going to say preferable. But again, the book was supposed to be something that was really helpful. So it gives you keywords, person. So let's let's go with something I can pronounce. Scythe or skith, I don't know what that is. Okay, but if we were using birds, for example, so the person would be a couple, siblings, friends, a female healer. So keywords, person, keywords has nouns, descriptors, verbs, playing card association, which is I think on all of them anyway, description, and then meaning. And then what I think this one does, spiritual readings, dark and light, spell use, which to be honest, I won't use. I'm not a witch. I'm certainly not a practicing witch. Timings and affirmations and deities. So much information in this little book. So that is why I purchased that one. And the reason why I felt called to I don't know, decide to learn a new system was that I did hear somewhere that Lenormand is more of a predictive style, and that was really intriguing to me. I don't really read tarot in a predictive manner. With tarot, what I do is when I'm reading for my friends, because that's I don't do paid readings or charged readings or whatever you want to call it. I literally just do readings with my friends for fun. But it's more of like a current, what you're currently going through or what might come up in the next couple days, which I guess is kind of predictive, and how to get through it. Like I kind of deal with it that way. But the predictive element of Lenormand really drew me in a little bit. So we'll see. I have no clue what I'm doing. Even the slight reading that I've done from the cute little Lenormand, I'm still kind of like, what is happening right now? So I'll keep you posted. I did want to do a little video on those two. I have so many videos that I wanted to do. I still want to do. And it's just I don't have the time or the energy right now to do it. As you can, look how I'm filming this video. I wouldn't even go out in public like this, and I'm posting a YouTube video looking like this. Crazy. This is crazy. All right. Now I did kind of get a little off track. Back to decks, the decks that I used. So if you've watched these videos before, you know that I switch up my decks every month. So I use a deck for myself, and then I use a deck for my friends that I read with, and each month I switch that up. So for the month of March, I decided to do something fun and do what I called Mishmash March. So every week we just used a different deck, myself included. So basically that was like 8 different decks, 9 or 10 even, depending on how many weeks were in March. I don't even remember. So I'm not going to go through them all because there was just a plethora of decks we used. And then in April, what I did with my friends was my friends deck. It had like springy color vibes to me, so I used that in April. And then for myself, I used my Lucid Dreams Tarot. So segue from decks to something else, back to decks. Anyway, the other thing I did buy that I'm obsessed with is this Harry Potter bag. I'll try to remember to link the shop in the comments. I use this for my HP tarot deck. It didn't really come with a box. It came in like a bigger flat box, so you had to kind of separate the deck into 2 stacks, and it was big, so they would flop all over the place. It did come with a bag. It came with like a burlap bag. However, my deck didn't fit into it. Like I can't close the strings. So that was really unfortunate. I don't know that I would have used it anyway though, to be honest, because the burlap is really rough and around the edges of the cards, I would just be a little nervous. So I wanted initially, and I think I saw someone post this in the Supportive Tarot group, I wanted the matching fabric for the Marauders map. I wanted that so bad for my bag. And I came across some, I think 2 on Etsy, but I don't think they shipped to Canada. So unfortunate, super unfortunate. And then someone posted that they found the fabric and they were gonna make themselves a bag. So I'm very jealous of you and your abilities to sew, because I don't have that. So anyway, I'm still pleased with my bag. I love it. It came from somewhere across the pond. Can't quite remember at the moment, but I love my little charm. And I love that it's black and kind of like an off-white, because for those of you who are familiar with this deck, it is an entirely black and white deck. So it just kind of goes with, like, I didn't want too much color to have for this deck, because like as you are seeing, it is entirely black and white. So I really wanted to kind of keep with either the Marauders map theme or a darker theme. So my Harry Potter bag, that's what I ended up purchasing. I think that's it as far as like deck accessories. This deck is phenomenal, by the way. I've been doing, with my friends, I just kind of Pinterested Harry Potter spreads. Perfect. Love it. Super fun. So that's a tarot bag that I purchased. I do have a study book that I have misplaced that I'm putting together for that deck, because there are several, I want to say, cards that don't match up with the meaning, or I just don't have a strong enough understanding of what the image is, or what the thing in the image is. Like, there's one of the cards, now I can't remember which one, so this is gonna be silly of me to even mention, but it's got the potion that makes the bones go back into place. And to me, that one didn't really make sense. So I kind of want to research that a little bit. A lot of the court cards are kind of, I love this deck. I've been on the hunt for a Harry Potter deck for a very long time. And there is that cartoony one that just came out, super cute. But this one, I love the art style so much. Not a fan of black and white decks. However, this one is an exception. I don't remember when I got that. I didn't do an unboxing. I'm not entirely sure of like rights, like copywriting. I don't know. So whatever. I just kind of let that one fly under the radar, but I got a bag for it. Now, crystals. I was supposed to have a low buy. I swear every one of these months I do this. I was supposed to have a low buy year for crystals. Started off as a no buy. I think that was out the window in January. So I'll try and remember linking the cards in my unboxing for the crystals that I got in March, because I did a whole order. So that happened. But I don't think I've bought anything since. I don't think I've purchased anything since. I think it's just been that crystal order. So I'm trying to be good. I'm really, really, really trying to be good. The crystals that I've been working with, now I haven't changed them for April. I didn't change them for April. It's I kind of added. So I had this clear quartz, this beautiful heart clear quartz, which I've talked about in my previous videos. And I found that my dreams were getting like super messed up. So I added this howlite cube to it. Howlite is supposed to be good for sleeping, so I paired those together, and my dreams did lessen for sure. I still have the odd dream, like I want to say once, maybe twice a week I'll have a dream. I did dream last night, now that I'm thinking about it, but they're not like how they were before. They're not crazy vivid, which I don't mind having vivid dreams. I think they're kind of fun to wake up to and be like, oh my gosh, where did that even come from? But I don't know, having them every single night, I'm kind of like, nah, not for me. So the howlite did help with that. Again, I don't even know if I believe in this, but maybe it's just the power of the mind, the power of suggestion. Either way, that works. If it's the power of suggestion and it actually does something, fine. I'm okay with that. And then what I did with my crystal unboxing, I got this black tourmaline palm stone, just a black stone. From my understanding, it's really hard to polish black tourmaline like this, so kind of cool. But I just added it for protection. I don't know why. I just felt I needed to add some protection to my little sleep combo. So I did that probably just a couple weeks ago. We're already like the first weekend to May. I don't even know what the date is. May 6th. So those are the crystals that I've been working with. I haven't really been carrying anything around with me. I think I did kind of switch up some gemstone bracelets, but I can't remember why. See, this is why I need to take notes. All right, so our last couple of topics. I threw this in last minute. I wanted to talk about these journals that I've discovered. So they're from Paper Blanks, and they're called Flexus. So they're lightweight and mobile. You can take it anywhere. Flexible soft cover notebook. So this is a 5x7. And I'm going to show it to you first. There's super cool information behind this. So let's get right in. So each one of these, I have another one, which I'm going to show you. Now I'll show you the inside. The inside is just plain that. The binding kind of has like a weird like snake pattern on it. More specifically down at the bottom, just, I don't know, a detail. But what's cool about these, so this, what's this word? It's not cardboard. Anyway, this paper that wraps around it. Oh no, I'm wrong. Oh, it also has a little thing. Does that have the front too? No, it's just on the back. So on the back, I thought it was on this paper, but it's not. Inside, on the back, there's blurbs about the artwork. So in this one, it's called Moonlight, and I'm going to butcher this. Olena Skaitshuk is one of the foremost practitioners of Ukrainian, oh, I am so sorry, Petrykivka, Petrykivka, Petrykivka? Oh gosh. Painting, a technique in which each artwork is made with special brushes crafted from cat hairs to create a visual effect unlike any other. The style was born in the village of I'm so sorry. In the 17th century and is now recognized by UNESCO as part of the intangible cultural heritage of humanity. In each design, untold thousands of small brush strokes combine to create magnificently hued miniature landscapes and floral scenes. This ornamental folk art technique is practiced by only a few artists today, and painters like Olena Skaitshuk play an important role in maintaining this rich cultural tradition. So that is crazy. And just because it did say it's flexible, I just thought I'd show you how flexible it is. So this is going to be my tarot journal. I'm coming to the end of my leather bound one. And the leather bound one is just like brown. So I wanted something bright and colorful. So amazing. And I have another one of these. This one's going to be a little bit more difficult to view because I've got it in a chic sparrow. But it's a mermaid. So this is also a tarot journal that I have yet to start. They have two different purposes. So here's the back of that one. And what's the story behind this one again? I'll just give you a Coles note so you don't have to suffer through my terrible reading. So this artist is Victor Nizovs. Oh, my Lanta, I am terrible. I'm just gonna zoom in here and hopefully you can pick up the artist's name. I'll put my finger on it to make it easier to find. And it just talks about how he's the artist. There's more information and more kind of like history with the first one, but I'm obsessed with these. The only store I've seen them in, now I don't attend paper stores very often, so I'm sure they're easier to find than I'm making it sound, but is a store called the Unconventional Moose on Highway 7. That's where I get mine in Ontario. So this is going to be my other tarot journal, I guess. The last update I wanted to give you is my Purgatory bin. I have an addition to my Purgatory bin, I think. Again, I'm kind of just letting these sit in here and hang out for a little bit. And then if the need or desire to use them comes along, then I'm like, I might decide to take them out. If the desire does not come along to touch these decks, use these decks, if I'm not missing them, they're gonna go bye-bye, at which point I'm not sure. But my Tarot of Oppositions is now in the Purgatory bin. And that is because I purchased the Lucid Dreams Beginner's Tarot with keywords. It's prettier than this. It does the exact same, it has the exact same purpose for me that this deck has, which was, I purchased this because I was learning reversals. And this deck, just to I've put everything back in order, so I don't want to screw it up. But to show you, for those of you who are unfamiliar, so you've got the upright Fool, and then you've got the reversed Fool. So it helps you with reversals in that sense. This deck I find, or the Lucid Dreams tarot deck, I find so much better for that purpose, that with the keywords, the images aren't upside down, but the keywords are reversed on the other side, so they're easy to read, and it's just more aesthetically pleasing. This deck, I don't find it to be inclusive, like at all. As I mentioned, I think in my unboxing of it, which is shocking because it's a brand new deck. Like, it just came out in 2020 or something like that. So I was shocked. Maybe even 2021. So yeah. The other deck, Lucid Dreams, is inclusive, more aesthetically pleasing. It's more my style, and I just love it. I love it. And it has, one comes in, that one's going to go out. Now, don't hold me to that rule, because probably not. But anyway, I have a deck now, an added deck to my Purgatory bin. And that's it. That's my updating for March and April of 2022. I already have some updates for May, and I'm going to give a little spoiler alert because I have to. This just came today, and I don't have an unboxing. I did not film an unboxing. I'm not going to post an unboxing because I was too excited. Now, in fairness to me, I pre-ordered that and bought it a long time ago. So the money came out a long time ago. It just arrived today. But it's technically a May deck, so we'll talk about that in May. And that's that. Enjoy the rest of your month. I hope to see you before then. But again, we are into the less than a month countdown of this wedding that I'm in. So things are going to be really busy from here on out. Bachelorette is 1 week from yesterday, so pray for me. A nearly 40-year-old woman going to a bar for the first time in well over 2 years. I am terrified. Should be a good time. I'll update you in May, I guess, on how that goes. Enjoy the rest of your month.